in Saints Central,
your black and gold home for the New Orleans Saints.
I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Fucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening football from your favorite sports fam. I'm Big Q up in this thing. Shout out to the Black and Gold family members as well. I know we love our intro, but we don't need to hear it twice. So let's all right. Shout out to the fam, man. Appreciate y'all being up in the live stream, chiming in on this thing, man. And we got a guest previewing the matchup, my brother, Big Game James from the Big Game Sports Buzz podcast, representing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Nation, is in the building representing. So, brother James, thank you for joining us for this installment of the show, my friend. And hey, man, this is a very interesting affair in week 2, my brother. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, black and gold. It's gonna be feisty, my brother. Man. So first and foremost, thank you for joining us.
Man, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the invite, dog. You know, every time I've been able to talk NFC South football with you, man, it's been a real good time. So definitely know what it's like when we get ready to play these Saints, and not really happy that it had to happen in week 2.
Yeah, bro, you can thank that the schedule makers for that, man. I think they got the blood boiling and everybody kind of worked up, especially in the NFC South, man. The Saints in particular, where they roll out the Atlanta Falcons number 1, week 2, then the Bucks, then week 3 Carolina. NFC South, all matchups rolled out, so it kind of got us up and running early, so to speak, get ready for the rest of the season. So that's kind of I'm kind of feeling that thing, man. So, but brother James, in this stream, bro, we were looking at the injury report, man. It was like, damn, you know, it's looking pretty rough there, my brother. Let's talk about it. Let's go over the injury report, brother James. Let's take a peek at that thing, man. Here it is, right here. And let's go start with the black and gold first, man. 10 Saints players listed on the injury report for week number 2. Cam Jordan fully practiced. He was limited throughout the week, but Friday fully practiced. They left his game status open right there. I consider that a win. I think he starts. Running back Elvin Kamara limited, but shut down Thursday. And when he shut down Thursday, I said probably he's not going to play Friday, questionable. So you see why Latavius Murray was kind of brung in this thing. He's listed as questionable, which means he's more than likely he's shut down. Marcus May went from limited to fully practiced for Thursday and Friday, good to go. Traquan Smith was limited. He's questionable. Dwayne Washington, another one of our special teams players, is questionable. Jameis was limited throughout the week with a back issue. He's questionable, although people believe he will play. And I believe it too. Landon Young fully practiced. Mark Ingram was questionable with an ankle issue. He should play. Alontae Taylor was limited, dealing with a hip. And Paulson Adebo is listed as out. and that'll be 2 weeks straight that our fantastic young cornerback Paulson Adebo is out of the game. Moving on to Tampa Bay. And here it is, Brother James. Mike Evans, calf issue. He was DNP Thursday, but limited today. Leonard Fournette dealing with that hamstring. He was limited throughout, and it's listed as questionable. Perriman with a knee issue, limited throughout. He's questionable. Tristan Wirfs, the right tackle, was limited, and he's questionable with an abdomen issue. Tom Brady just had rest. Russell Gage is one of my favorite LSU wide receivers from not too long ago. DMP'd the first with Wednesday and then limited throughout with the hamstring. Chris Godwin is just out. Julio Jones had a knee issue. He was limited today and questionable. McCullum, the cornerback, is doubtful. Donovan Smith, your big left tackle, blind side tackle there, Brother James, is doubtful with that hyperextended elbow. And then, of course, 2 more additions to the injury list, bro, with Levante David and but they someone just rest for those guys, and he did not practice. So, Brother James, what do you think about all of these injuries, man? I mean, all the designations. First of all, the offensive tackles. We know that you guys have been having some issues, interiorly speaking. Let's talk about that. Let's get into, kind of educate us about the interior injuries that have been happening with the club, with the Buccaneers' mind frame on how how they're gonna put that together going into the season, and of course all these other injuries with Smith and then now Wilfs. What you thinking, bro?
Yeah, well, going into a Q, it was like, all right, Jensen gets hurt early on in the first day of training camp. We wanted to see how things were going to go. Hainsey actually stepped up and played really well against Dallas, and to me, that was going to be a question mark. You got a guy that was drafted as a tackle, moved to guard, and then all of a sudden became your starting center. You had solid pieces around him as far as Mason, and then the rookie Gadecki had to start at the other guard from Central Michigan. So we thought at least we were solidified on the outside with Wirfs and Smith. And now to have both of those guys banged up when you're already shifting pieces to try to make do in the middle, it's scary when you know you have to face a pass rush that the Saints possess, right? So it's nothing easy to prepare for. But I used to tell people all the time, the NFL makes you put out an injury list. You have to do it. If anything happens, a guy goes on the training room for something, you have to make it known to – there has to be league news now. Sometimes, to me, I don't think it's a super big deal. The Donovan Smith one, though, being hurt in the game, leaving the game and not coming back is a serious injury that I think is going to be okay to play through and that he'll be fine. But the Donovan Smith one really does have me worried.
Yeah, I mean, this is really something else, and of course, Chris Godwin on top of that too, Brother James. Your second best receiver at times. It appears he is the best receiver at times, man. To me, it looks like. I know Mike Evans is what he is. He's phenomenal, but boy, Godwin, man, he really. When he's in the game and he's healthy, he's a damaging force. He is doubtful listed there. So how would the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in your estimation, manufacture some offense with Evans out? I don't know what's Julio Jones. They said he limited. What's your take on the wide receiver core behind Goodwin and Russell Gage is banged up, Perriman is banged up. What's your thing? I know you still got Scotty Miller.
I'm about to say the young dudes. Yeah, they're gonna have to play because this is my whole thing though. With Godwin, I never thought he should play against Dallas. Regardless, I was like, you already said earlier in the week, like in week 1, that he may get a few reps, but more than likely not. Then all of a sudden, we're going to put him on a pitch count like a pitcher in baseball. If you have to do that for an explosive receiver like Chris Godwin, it means that he wasn't fully 100% ready, and he didn't need to try to force it. And they say hamstring, but it almost looked like he retweaked the knee that Sunday night game against Dallas, the way he twisted and fell. And the same thing with Julio on the reverse of the one big catch he had. The other pieces, the only other way if these young receivers can't go, are you going to have to go extra tight ends in the game and go a different kind of package and, change up what you're going to do? I believe that they'll be able to adjust well with the way Brady's going to be in that room. With Leftwich, they said he has a lot to do with the game plan, and it's something that he couldn't do at Arians, but he can do now. that Byron will include him in what's going on. But I think they almost have to go in there and draw in the dirt like old school sandlot football cue. They're going to have to get out there and figure something out, man, because to have that wide of array of receivers, and you look at it, was it, well, we're going to be okay. We got Gage coming from Atlanta. We got other pieces. We got Perriman. But then you start getting nicked up and beat up in week 1, and it's like, where am I going to go to pull in somebody that's ready to play in week 2? And you don't really have the luxury of just, dropping guys down and bringing guys in new to the roster. So you got to make things work. I believe, Mike Evans is going to do his thing. I'm hoping Gage can actually get on the field and play and help us out, because he was supposed to be the piece to hold us over until Godwin was back really ready to go. But I think, Cameron Brate and the young guy, Cade Otton, are going to have to play a little bit more on the tight end. We might have to go a little bit more heavy set than we'd like to. Brady likes to throw the wide receivers. He will utilize one tight end, but to put multiple on the field, I'm very interested to see what this looks like.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because they're gonna have to use some imagination there to kind of move the ball with all those guys. We knew injuries was going to be a factor coming into this game, because we were kind of looking at the Tampa Bay offensive line during the offseason. We kept hearing stuff. We seen Jensen go down, and they said he's supposed to be back. They're gonna try to get him back before the end of the year or something like that. And then of course we seen the rest of them guys go down, and now you see Smith go down the blindside tackle. So I mean, we'll see, man. That's what football all about. You got to make them damn adjustments. But let's talk about it though, brother James, because I know with the Saints, with the black and gold last week against the Atlanta Falcons, we were rusty through 3 quarters. We wasn't on the same page, and then of course when the 4th quarter came along, they made the adjustments. They got on the same page, and then boom, bam, beam. 17 points later, Saints get the 4th quarter 17 point, and then boom, they beat the Atlanta Falcons in their own building, stealing away, breaking their hearts and everything, had the people burning up their jerseys and everything out there. So, and that's just week 1. So it's going to be a long season for the Atlanta Falcons, to be honest with you. They got to recoup. But anyway, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the win against the Dallas Cowboys. Kind of do their thing. Dak Prescott had an injury. He'll be gone for a little bit. They saying they'll try to keep him. He more than likely, they ain't going to IR him. They're going to kind of keep him around. But let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers performance in the Dallas matchup, and what you like that they did in that game that you think might carry over to this one.
Honestly, I like the way the defense played. I don't like seeing Akeem Hicks being on the injury report now, because although he didn't make a lot of tackles, he and Vita Vea right there in the middle together. They clogged a lot of things up. They took Ezekiel Elliott out of the ball game. They pretty much eliminated the run game. But realistically, what I saw, that even though the offense didn't get into the end zone, they had to settle for so many field goals, being able to get into the red zone and get the ball movement, they almost used week 1 as their dress rehearsal in a preseason game, and not really trying to be funny. We were really fortunate that Dallas was lacking. I know Dallas Cowboys fans came out and said that they were okay and they were fine with Amari Cooper being gone, but honestly, Tampa got lucky and they beat a team that was just worse than them on Sunday night. But the defense did play well. But at the same time, the way Jameis Winston played for you guys in week 1 against Atlanta, he had a better game than even if Dak Prescott didn't get hurt. I believe Jameis outplayed him. So going into a game with a better offensive line that you're facing it and a better quarterback, what is the defense going to look like now? Can we hold up? Can we put pressure on? Can we take away the run game and shorten the field? We made Dallas play long downs. They stayed in 3rd and long most of the game, and then the defense were able to do what we wanted to do. Can the defense carry that over? Because that was the one bright spot that I carried over from this game. It was like offense stalled in the red zone. Well, we're rusty. So I hate the starters not playing them, late in the preseason. I hate that. But the defense gave me a little bit to smile about. And I'm hoping, that's the one caveat that we carry over to, this weekend and have things go our way.
Yeah, I was looking at that defense, James, man, and they got our old guy on there, Akeem Hicks, up there with Vita Vea, them some monsters, and Golston in his own right is pretty formidable. But you got Devin White and Levante David sitting there with Shaq Barrett. So, and then of course they had Joe Tyron there as well. He's another guy you got to watch out for. And then I knew Antoine Winfield Jr. would be a player because his dad was. So,
Right.
you know, you had Carlton Davis. A lot of people like Carlton Davis a lot. So, I mean, let's talk about, like you just mentioned, about the defense and what they could bring. Now, the running attack for the Saints last week. We look at our rushing attack. You know, we got AK-41, more than likely won't play this game. We did sign Latavius Murray to come back in the building. He's a big guy, fall forward, get you 4 to 5 yards. So I think they'll probably pull him off the practice squad and activate him. That's the reason why he's here, because of AK-41's issue. Him and Mark Ingram, and of course Tony Jones Jr. will probably be the tandem of backs that we operate with. My fascination with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is they added Hicks. That was a smart move. Vita Vea is a monster nose tackle, is the true definition of what a nose tackle is. But like I said, all that operate the 3-4 defense correctly, you got to have 3 down linemen that just occupy the 5 offensive linemen, which allow your linebackers, who you got some pretty damn good linebackers, Shaq Barrett and David and Devin White. Even though Devin White's my LSU guy, I'm kind of still mad at him for what happened with Jameis Winston last week. But last year, we'll leave that alone.
Right.
But those are some players, bro. Those guys move around, they fast sideline to sideline. So that defense, man, thinking about last year's defense, when Tampa Bay's defense last year was looking pretty good, how good is this defense in your estimation versus on the ones from the past? Actually, last year.
Well, honestly, I believe that, you know, you lose in Dominican Sue, but I think Hicks, I think that's a wash right there. And a lot of people think that I'm crazy. And in some ways, if Akeem Hicks can get back to the Hicks from 2 years ago in Chicago, it might be a little bit of an upgrade from a Dominican Sue, a small upgrade. They're crazy about Joe Trianka, JTS, what I call him, because I butcher his last name all the time.
Yeah, me too.
So JPP, to be the guy that he's been in that defense, and for Todd Bowles to say that he's ready to step in and play that part, to me, that's a big vote of confidence in what the coaching staff believes that this young man can do. I wanted to see a little bit more when he matched up against the rookie in Dallas, and I still need to see a little bit more of his pass rush game when they brought him off the edges and stuff. And Logan Hall had a couple good plays as a young player and a rookie in the league. So, but man, Devin White is a whole different animal, and he has some plays in that Dallas game that goes, oh yeah, I'm glad we got him. I'm glad, you know, I see why LSU had the success they had when he was on that
awesome.
team. He does that, you know what I mean? And him and Levante David together are great. You know, Winfield, like you said, is a beast. Mike Edwards is filling in because, you know, other safety we lost to the New York Jets in free agency.
Right.
But, you know, a lot of people talk about Carlton Davis. I like Jamel Dean in the way he plays. But at the same time, Q, you know football too.
Yeah.
Dallas was left with no true number 1 wide receiver, and CeeDee Lamb was the only proven receiver on their team. I believe our DBs are going to be in for a real test this week because, man, Jarvis Landry, for you guys last 7 catches, 114.
Yes, sir.
To go on top of Thomas, and you said to yourself, you said Olave had a great camp and that he's going to be something special as he learns. You know, we got who you going to double, or can you double? You know, so it's going to be a bigger test. Like, I'm so happy we beat Dallas Cowboys week 1. We got a dub, you know what I mean? But at the same time, this was the game I had circled when the schedule came out. I was like, all right, we'll get by week 1. 2 and 3, I think, but really 2 because of the division game. And when you guys signed Jarvis Landry, I cursed. I was like, that's not where I wanted him to go at all. Anywhere else but the boot. You know what I mean? Like, get somewhere else, man. I love Jarvis Landry. I love the way he plays. I think that things didn't work out for him in Cleveland, but for him to come back to the state of Louisiana and to know what he's capable of from seeing him play for so long, it's just like it's nightmares for defensive backs when he has the right complement with him. And with Michael Thomas, he has that. He has the other weapon. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's gonna be. We gotta get pressure on Jameis. We've got to get pressure on Jameis to make our defensive backs' lives a lot easier.
Yeah, that Tampa Bay defense is fast, man. If anything, I look at what they got and how they utilize it. Todd Bowles is a hell of a defensive coordinator, man. He knows how to move those guys around and create pressure. He knew all that to get that defense to play Because really, I mean, you see and see if you agree with me on this, brother James. The strength of that defense, Tampa Bay defense, is them linebackers, man.
Yeah,
That's
big time.
and if the linemen, those 3 linemen can occupy the 5 offensive linemen for the black and gold, that'll free up those linebackers to roam around, blitz, or to drop into as much and coverage and cover up as many lanes as they possibly can
Right.
and make life difficult. So they are, you got to watch out for those guys as well. And even like some of the people you mentioned, Jamel Dean, I've been keeping my eye out on him. And a lot of people talked about what Sean Murphy Bunting is another one of those guys. But yeah, you're right. Those 3 guys, and I often say that when the Saints acquired Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, and the healthy Mike Thomas, you're going to have 3 defensive backs that are going to have to get on the field with them guys and cover them up. And it's impossible to cover everybody. So if one guy over here, and you double him up, that other guy going to eat. And of course, we got Taysom Hill lurking about. Elvin won't play in this matchup, but the Saints still have more than enough weapons where they can utilize to move guys around to do what they got to do.
A lot of people don't they underestimate Latavius Murray. He's a very capable NFL running back and has had success everywhere he's been, playing a role that he's had to play. The one good thing about week 1 for us as well that I took from it is we were able to apply pressure without blitzing a whole lot. And we know Todd Bowles will usually draw up a blitz and a heartbeat to put extra pressure on. And he didn't have to pull the trigger too many times because we were able to take advantage of the Dallas Cowboys line. Now, going into this week's matchup against the Saints, you got a more solid, more proven offensive line than we played in week 1. So we may have to blitz a little bit more. Now, that guy in the secondary's got to cover longer. And that's all. Anything in the NFL past 3 seconds, and you're asking the defensive back to lose. I mean, it's that, you got to get there within 3 is what, we used to be taught as D linemen. You got 3 seconds to apply that pressure and take the pressure off the guy behind you. If not, it's going to be a completion or a big play.
Yeah, brother James, you're 100% right, my brother. And you mentioned the running backs. You talked about Latavius Murray. Yeah, Latavius had over 500 yards last year in a limited role with the Baltimore Ravens when he came up in that thing. So, yeah, you're right. And I'm excited to have him back because he's very familiar with the Saints, system here. So he'll fit just like a glove. Running back. Speaking of running backs, let's talk about Leonard Fournette. Got a hamstring issue, bro. He had like 120 plus against the Cowboys in week 1. And what's going on with him, brother James? How effective do you think Fournette will be with a hamstring issue against the Saints?
If it's a bad hamstring injury, he won't be effective at all. I'm hoping it's just a little tweak and that he'll be fine. And we joked about it on the roundtable. Leonard Fournette came into camp overweight. He was pushing almost 260 pounds.
Yeah.
He's down about, they said 240, 235 now, back where they want him playing. He looked good against Dallas. Had some great blocks and ran the ball well. But, they're really thinking that Rachaad White, our rookie out of Arizona State, can help. But I know they want him to be more of a third down back. I don't know if he's ready to get in and carry that load if Leonard really can't carry it and tote it the way that they want him to. And, I'll take the 21 carries for 127. That takes a lot of pressure off of a time, and it keeps the clock going too. And so we need Leonard's production to have success and be, to be capable of getting things done.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I mean, you got Rachaad White and Giovanni Bernard and Keshawn Vaughn. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. Let's talk Tom Brady for a second, bro. Let's
man.
Let's talk. Hold on just a second there, brother James. There go Big Low. Big Low in the building. Shout out to my dog, Big Low. He said, much love to my NFC South brothers. Me and Coach Roney want to show some Saints fam some love. He says, can we get a Superman chance? I can't do it as good as you, Lo, but I'm going to try, brother. Da-da-da-da. That's a Superman shit. So
IQ, that's pretty good though, dog. You right there on that, man. You on it. That's just for you,
man. That's the dude, man. I can't do that, man. That's the mastermind of that,
yes,
man.
Sir.
But let's talk about Tom Brady, that brother James. Now, Tom Brady gets a lot of accolades, and that's fine. We respect the guy. Listen, we know what he did, but I think, in my estimation, like most teams, like if you look at the records of the Saints over the last couple of years versus the Saints, that's obvious. We know that we've beaten him the entire, the meetings. He's 0-4 against us. But if you go look at the record versus other teams, Tom Brady's had massive success against those guys. And I think a big part of it is that the Saints are not caught up in the mystique of Tom Brady, the future first ballot Hall of Famer. They're like the media personalities are just encapsulated with him, and they worship him. They got little pictures that they sit on their nightstands with Tom Brady smiling, and then they wake up and pray to it, and then and then they go, So I mean, we don't go for that. We take pride in the defense in New Orleans of knocking some of those guys down. It's not about what you did yesterday; it's about what you're gonna do today. And against us, you will not have success. That's the mind frame of the defense. We showed it against Aaron Rodgers. He's a future Hall of Famer. So that's what we do. We step up for those games. Tom Brady's situation that's going on around him. I keep hearing media personalities tell me that Tom Brady's having problems with his family and all this kind of stuff, and that he's distracted. And then someone else was saying that the reason why he's having that strife with his family is because he decided to come back for an extra year, where his wife wanted him to say no, that's a wrap. But there's a word on the street is that he came back because of his pettiness with the Saints. Now, I don't know how true that is, but you talk to me about that, brother James. His mind frame coming into this game, and would he, and his mind state going into the season, because we got him this time and we got him next time around. So, what is his mind state in this game, brother James?
Well, a lot of this is speculation. Some of it is me talking to some people that's still close to other people in the Buccaneers organization. Tom Brady left football thinking, what, I need to do this. I got to go spend this time with my wife. But at the same time, that loss to the Rams in the playoffs last year left Brady feeling a little empty. And he still looked at that Buccaneers roster as, if we put a couple more pieces together, I really think I can go out here and win one more time. So all the mindset in the world is, yes, there's some things going on at the house, but at the same time, I believe Tom was like, you know what? Let's put the band together one more time. Let's run it back. Let's see if we can go get one more championship, and then I'll deal with everything else, when it's over and done. And, I think his wife may have just called his bluff on it. He's a competitor. And I can tell you is I didn't play half as long as this man been in the league, but for the amount of time I did play, the hardest thing for me to do, and my wife even said the hardest part of the transition of our relationship was those first couple of years of being away from the game, because you start playing a game of football at a young age and you play all the way up into your 30s, and now you got to find a brand new routine to get into. I don't think Tom Brady's ready to get into another routine. All he knows is football. All he knows is how to break film down to get ready to go compete against people, and that's hard to take away from a great competitor. So I think that is the hardest part about him really wanting to step away from the game to do other things he may need to do in his life, because he still wants to compete to get that last one.
Yeah, you know what, brother James, that's well said, bro. And to be quite honest with you, I think you're 100% right on that, man. And you're right, he is a competitor, bro. He is, man, and he got all the money in the world, bro. But and he still wants to come back and play. But yeah, and 45 years old, what he did with the 5,000 yards last year, for a 44-year-old man to do that, that's phenomenal. But but a lot of people saying that this rendition of the team is not as deep as last year's team. Like Gronkowski decided not to come back, and they had to go and fill a void. So of course, and now with all the injuries, you think I don't think he'll regret anything. But my point is, the Saints making, and you tell me about this, your take on this, brother James. This is my perspective, and then we can get into the people who you think will impact the game in a favorable fashion for the Bucs, and also. But this is the thing I'm looking at with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you had your hat on, and I was, the red hat with the pirate flag on it. Could you imagine that? Right. But if I had brother James hat on, and I'm saying, damn, man, the Saints done beat Tampa Bay with Tom Brady 4 times in the regular season, the one loss in the playoffs.
Right.
Damn, how did he have so much dominance over Tampa Bay, the great Tom Brady, versus other teams he was able to have that success? And I would look at the defensive line and I would say to myself, damn, they're getting pressure on Brady right up the center. He has
Mhm.
no place to, he's a statue back there. So
Right.
he slides. He'll slide with the best of them. He's a slider. So if the pressure wraps around him, he got a wonderful pocket awareness. I got to give him that.
Mhm.
But he'll feel that pocket wrapping around him, and he'll step up into the pocket to deliver a throw.
Right.
But if the pocket is being pushed in his face, there's nowhere for him to go. And I think that's what the Saints have done a wonderful job of getting pressure in his face. And even to the edges, once we got the pressure in his face where there's nowhere to go, then we start wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Then you start seeing them cussing. Then you start seeing them pointing fingers. Then you start seeing them slapping tablets. Then you start seeing them running off to the sideline, telling our defensive line coach to go F himself and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
So if I'm to Tampa Bay, man, with the red hat on, how do we solve that issue with the team that we currently have constructed? What do we do to stop the Saints from beating the absolute hell out of Tom Brady?
Well, first and foremost, you're going to have to change some of your protection plans up. You're going to have to slide, you're going to chip, you're going to have to keep that running back in to get a piece of Cam Jordan off the end, even when the blitz and the pressure's coming up the middle. The one thing you said a little bit earlier when you were talking about the matchups between the Saints and the Bucs is the Saints never wavered about who they were playing. Your defense came out and didn't give a damn of who it was. You attacked it with the same game plan. You didn't go, excuse me, this is Tom Brady. What are we going to do? And I always tip my hat to the Saints for that. It's a lot of times you can go into a game beat before it even starts. And you say all the right things all week long. But at the same time, if you don't believe what you're saying, like I can tell you I'm 7 feet tall. But if I don't believe it and I know I'm only 6'3" with shoes on, I'm not 7 foot and I'm not going to be able to get to that. The Saints going and they like, man, hey, we got this. We the best defense in the NFC South. Let's show it. And they played like it. So from the offensive standpoint, my game plan has to change. I've got to try to open it up some. I've got to take the pressure off my quarterback. I can't drop back and pass the entire game when I know they're capable of putting that pressure on. And I think the Buccaneers weren't patient enough in those games because Tom wants to throw the ball without establishing a good run game first. And that cannot happen against the Saints. Whatever it is you come up with during the week that you think can work from watching film, you've got to be patient enough to do it and try to see it work itself out. If not, if you alleviate from that game plan too early, you're going to have the same consequence. I mean, it's going to have the same outcome that it's had before, and you're going to be mad, breaking stuff, cursing, yelling at people.
Yeah, we make and listen, brother James, no disrespect, but we love when you do that.
I'm a D. Hey, Q, you know I'm a D lineman at heart. Trust me, I love when I got when I got the quarterback slamming, cussing, and pointing fingers at everybody else. We know we did our job up front.
Brother James, who this fella is right there? Who that fella is standing up over there?
It is right there, man. Hey, them hands on my hips, Q. You must be a long pass rush right there. You know what I'm saying? I got my hands on my hip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for those who don't know, Brother James played the game. As you can see, standing next to that sap right there, standing next to him. And Brother James, man, handled the business there on the defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the man know what he's talking about, man. So yeah, Big Low says Brother James is on the road to 1,000 subs, man. So let's, Brother James is a cool dude, man. He talking and keeping that real inside perspective. So get a man a sub, man. Go to Big Game James is what is it? Big Game Sports Buzz. Yeah, it's his YouTube cycle. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for the brother. Thank you, brother. Marvin says, ask him if his wife's a Saints fan. Is his wife a Saints fan?
No,
okay, go ahead,
brother. No, she's not a Saints fan. She couldn't stay in the house if she's a Saints fan. She had to adopt the Buccaneers too, man. But real talk, man. My wife grew up in Cali, man, so she really was a Raiders fan up until the point where we married and I was in the league playing ball and stuff like that. But she was a Raiders fan, and she's on the Bucks bandwagon now. So, but it's all good. And man, the subs, and just so y'all know, I don't just talk straight Tampa Bay. I do have a Tampa Bay show called Big Game's Pewter Perspective. But on Big Game Sports Buzz, we break down everything NFL. NBA during the NBA season, just try to keep it live with sports. And on our last show, Q, we did the top 5 wide receivers going on right now. So we always try to break out the top 5 every week and do something fun to have the fans interacting and being able to chime in and let us know what they think and who they want to pull for as well.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good, brother James. So go over there and give him a subscribe, family, if you please. It's Big Game Sports Buzz on YouTube, man. Much love to that brother, as well as he doing it like we said. But let's get back into the Saints talk, my brother, and Buck talk. And we talked about Tom Brady. I know that's the biggest topic that we in the Who That Nation talks about Tom Brady, because we get sick of being saturated with the national press trying to describe to us while Tom Brady is the ultimate equalizer. But brother James, like I know that one guy don't play the game. It takes 11 on one. It takes 11 guys on the field to make it work. He can't block for himself. He can't throw the ball to himself. So they got a lot of faith in your offensive line, your reconstructed offensive line, with a lot of those guys are out. And I'm just wondering, I know obviously you have faith in your squad, but obviously I think this is just me as a black and gold. I got my hat back, black and gold hat back on. Took the reddest hat off. I mean, the Buccaneers red hat off.
You had to go back to your real game hat.
It was hurting my head, brother James. Brother James, brother James, it was hurting my head, brother. I had to put the black and I had to take it and say, hey, man, I got to take this red hat.
It was ugly. I gotta throw this thing away.
No, right. I was just saying, brother, listen, that black and gold, baby, it just worked too well. Right. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, and I'd be as unbiased as I kept, like, man, how is that going to happen? So let's get some perspective from you on your guys. Guys, like, give me 3 guys, brother James, that you like, that's guys that people that you think will impact the game. Now, it could be some guys that we are not familiar with, but give me 3, maybe 4 guys from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, offense, defense, special teams, however you feel, that you feel will have a serious impact in this game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, honestly, this week, I believe Rachaad White is going to impact the game some way, shape, or form. Young, they try to get him rolling a little bit more. If Fournette is banged up, like they say, with that hamstring, I look to get Rachaad White that ball out the backfield, catching it. And, he drew a lot of comparison. Well, I can't say comparison. They complimented him, saying that he reminded people of a young Alvin Kamara with the way he could catch the ball and go. Now, nobody else can be AK-47 when he is doing his thing. He's healthy. But at the same time, that's a lot of high praise to give a young guy that's never played up to the point, had never played a down in the NFL, right? Another one, Robert Hainsey again, going into only his second year start at the center position. I think it's going to be vital. It's going to be a crucial part with that pressure. He's going to have to talk. He's going to be that captain of the offensive line, see where extra pressure may be coming from. If it is a blitz, making sure he gets that whole line going in the right direction. And then I want to see Joe Tryon-Shoyinka have a better game this week at the end. It'd be easy for me to say Vita Vea or Akeem Hicks, but I think, replacing JPP, only having a few sacks last year, what they said you're capable of doing, that it's going to be time for him to step up and try to make a difference in this game right here.
Yeah, these guys, man. Yeah, that's a good 3, and big question marks too, because if JTS can get off like he's supposed to, bro, like they're anticipating him, because they got high praise for him. And I remember scouting that guy. He is very talented and an athletic marvel. But the thing is, can he put it all together? Well, listen, man, you look at the Tampa Bay, and like I said, I look at the defense, and I can appreciate the defense, but them linebackers, man, those linebackers are like, it was a time when Levante David was the man,
right,
in that defense, and now you look at it, it's obviously your guy, Devin White. I mean, he's the guy that calls the shots on that defense, brother James. Yeah. In my opinion, he's the best. And then you got Shaq Barrett, what he did the last time around.
Right.
So I mean, the linebackers, man, if it could be tough sledding in the black and gold building if we allow those fantastic linebackers to roam and blitz when they feel like and drop in the car. Yeah, it could be problematic. We're gonna have to put we got to be real disciplined.
And Q, the reason I didn't say those guys is having to be impact is because you almost just expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those guys take the field, and it's just like, all right, they're going to do their thing. Even like Golston, like I think he's probably he's very underrated
Yes.
as a defensive lineman when
Yes,
for
he
what he
is.
does and brings to our squad.
Right.
But those, the pieces I named are the ones I want to see something from. But you named them, and like I said, going into the game with a Devontae David and Devin White and Barrett, it's almost, I feel like it's automatic that they're going to do something that's always going to impact the game. And yet, they made them household names for themselves off of that play. And so I'm hoping these other three that I mentioned can start making a name for themselves this weekend.
Yeah, the biggest one, in my opinion, is Hainsley, because Hainsley is the guy that is replacing Jensen,
Right.
and he has a lot of responsibility at that center position
Yeah.
of leading and calling, with doing what he got to do to kind of guide the rest of those guys. And communication issues is going to be vital, especially if Smith's not there. And I think Wilf's a play. I'm thinking I'm going to lean on him playing versus, I know for a fact that Smith with a hyperextended elbow, if he does play, and they did put a little pain number on that thing, that ain't gonna bode well with him going up against no Cam Jordan. I mean, I'll tell you straight up.
Cam be licking his chops if that was the case.
No doubt. Like you said yourself, they would have to kind of roll some protection over there to kind of do something, chip them with the tight end, perhaps keep a running back in there that kind of chip on them, all kind of little special stuff to try to keep the Saints at bay. Okay, Brother James, when we talk about the Saints defense, and then the big thing everybody knows about the Saints defense, of course, the Saints surrendered 200 yards last week against the Falcons. Now, we don't usually do that. We don't usually surrender 200 yards against any damn body.
Right.
It's a rarity that happens, So when we did that, I attribute that more to Russ than I did to the Saints just not knowing what they're doing. I just think that, it takes a while for it. You can appreciate that. It takes a while for guys to gel and learn each other's tendencies and know what they need to do to be an effective force as one. So they ain't playing like the fingers of the five, but the fingers all come together and form a fist. That's what I'm talking about. And the Saints defense stepped up when the time counted for them to do that. So the defense, we already understand what that's about. I think they'll try to repeat some of the past success in blitz to get to Tom Brady. Dennis Allen just has a gift at that thing. And Ryan Nielsen is kind of still upset that Tom Brady told him to go F himself. So he's invested in that as well. So, but the offense is another thing people are saying. I heard a couple of commentators are saying that they don't think the Saints offense can manufacture enough for the Tampa Bay defense. Listen, Tampa Bay defense is a good defense.
They're good, but we talked about it. We talked about it earlier. I'm not gonna write off Jameis Winston yet. I was a Jameis Winston fan in Tampa. I just don't think it was fair that he had 4 different offensive coordinators in his 5 years there. He never really had stability. I think him having stability there makes him a different kind of player. He lost the weight. He's had consistent coaching. I think you have to take him serious. Now, our defense can do that. We're good enough to do that. But at the same time, I think it's easy for other people outside of your organization and some media writers to just write Jameis Winston off because he was a bit of the joke of the league for a while. It was some of the sound bites and things he was saying.
Oh, they're still doing that.
Yeah, you would look at it and be like, what did he just say?
Right. He made the horse sound.
I would walk around and be like, I'd be like, I had to take my Tampa Bay hat off sometimes. I was like, no, my quarterback didn't say that, y'all. That was wrong. But at the same time, you can't really write him off. I think that, he's someone to take serious. And I think this defense, I think will show Saints fans what they have at quarterback and show Buccaneers fans what we have on defense if we can take that quarterback play away from you guys.
All right. And once again, for the family members that's just tuning into the show, we got over 200 of us in here. Please, number one, hit the like button. Hit the share button and share the show on your social media feed. It helps out the stream. We got brother Big Game James, former Tampa Bay defensive lineman, in the building from Big Game Sports Buzz. Give them a subscribe. A couple of family members, I see y'all in the chat saying that y'all subscribe. Thank y'all, bro.
Appreciate that, y'all. Thank y'all, man. Really appreciate that.
So please feel free to hit that like button and share it. All right, and Pelicans Nola saying, Q, tell Brother James thank you for last week beating the Dallas Cowboys and putting us one step closer to Sean Payton being the Dallas Cowboys coach next, because they'll be 0-7. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, so there it is. Thank you, Brother James. Straight up. for
Yeah.
beating them Cowboys. Now Tasha won't like that, but it's okay. All right, but this is the thing, bro. Now get into it, brother James. How do you think the game will play out? What's your call on that? And give me a score if you please.
I think it's going to be a very physical game. I think it's going to go back and forth. I'm hoping it doesn't, but I think it's going to go back and forth. I don't see a blowout. I didn't think that we would score as low as we did last week with only all those field goals. But I'm going to go bold prediction and say that Tampa Bay's defense is going to go in here and help us get the win. And it's going to be 24-21 Buccaneers over the Saints to break the in-season curse.
All right, that is 24-21. Brother James is calling it. All right, so and let me just say my little piece. I think the key to the Tampa Bay success, and listen, we don't overlook nobody, bro. That's the focus on it is like, because I think our team could be quite impressive when their minds made up. Hell, I think when the Saints' minds are made up and the weapons that we have, I don't think too many teams could stay on the field with the Saints the way they will operate and use them. Like if the fourth quarter was any indication of what they're shooting for as an offense, could you imagine any defense on the field trying to stop what the hell that was? So I mean, it'll be very problematic. But I think in this matchup here, the way the Saints deal now, the defense is going to do their thing. I think the black and gold still needs to have more of a balanced approach. I know we're definitely not afraid. We will attack the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense through the secondary. We're going to get vertical and attack the secondary. I know that and of course 3-4 defense. They run the 3-4 defense. I know that's what they do. I know that they don't y'all use a modified run a modified defense, the nickel. Y'all use the modified nickel package.
It's like a hybrid. It's like a little hybrid package that they run.
How often are y'all in the modified nickel package?
Well, I think it's going to depend on y'all's the formations that y'all put out at us. If y'all got three,
we running a lot of threes.
Yeah, so it's going to have to be. It's going to be that modified, and we have to have that to try to take it away. We're going to need help in the secondary to cover those wide receivers you have. So.
Which would be problematic because you take one of them fantastic linebackers off the field to put that extra cornerback on. So we're gonna see how that looks.
That's the tough part. Yes,
so sir. that's what I'm saying. I think that's what the Saints will do. They'll attack the Tampa Bay defense, the secondary to set up the vertical game. The Saints have to run the football. We know AK-41's not going to be in the game. Hate that we don't have them, but Mark Ingram, Latavius Murray, Tony Jones Jr. Saints have to open up lanes against them. And of course, like yourself, you got to dominate the line of scrimmage, bro. Whoever wins that, you got to set the tone on the line of scrimmage. The Saints have to do that in Tampa Bay. Man, this is going to be a good battle here. So I'm not really, I can say my defense, I know we're going to try to manufacture some of the stuff that we did in the 4 previous meetings in the regular season to get success on Tom Brady, to fluster him, frustrate him, get him upset. I have him sitting on the bench by himself while everybody's fall off down the field somewhere. He'll be upset, mad. So, I mean, that's what we're going to attempt to do that. But my call on the game, Brother James, I think it'll probably be, man, I would say 28-24 Saints. I would say 28-24 Saints. 28-24 Saints. That's what I'll call it. Because listen, I can't, and a lot of family members giving they shots and they calls on it. True says 34-13. Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know if he watched what Tampa did week 1. I know it was Dallas, but damn. You know what I'm saying? Our kicker got more than 13 by itself. So but I love it, man.
Damn, Debbie. Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Debbie say 30-3. Good Lord.
Man, Debbie playing. She gonna watch the Madden version.
I love it. But that's the call up. But yeah, Brother James, man, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be popping, it's going down, man, in a major capacity. And yeah, I think it's gonna be all right. All right, Money says, blow out Big Q. Stop being modest. Nah, but listen, the reason why I'm saying that, man, you got to go and look at the tape about them. And when I told Brother James about them linebackers, I ain't playing around. Yeah. And I told him, I said, the strength of the Tampa Bay defense is the linebackers. It is. They got 3 massive. We just had this discussion, family, when we talked about running the 3-4 defense. If you're running a successful 3-4 defense, the down 3 linemen got to be guys that know how to they got to occupy the 5 linemen, allow your linebackers to roam.
And you need that one to occupy 2 with those other 2.
That's right.
Pressure like they are. Vita Vea is gonna make you occupy.
Yeah, there
he's
you
gonna
go.
Occupy 2. So
yeah,
he
that
makes it a
dude
little
is true
tough
nose
sometimes
tackle.
in the middle. Yeah, he's
you
true
can't
nose.
block him one. Yeah, you can't block him one dude there,
No.
Brother James. Yeah, he requires a double team as well. So yeah, that's the skinny of it. But like I said, I think their linebackers are fantastic, man. To be honest with you, So I mean, we'll see how it all looks, man, in the game there. And like I said, it all depends on us being able to run the ball, get vertical against them, and of course, the big game, the big game to me in terms of what needs to happen is that the Saints defense must fluster Tom Brady, get him on the ground, upset him, and then and I don't know, Brother James, let me ask you this. Who's the other guy, like in what happened with Tom Brady in the 4 previous matchups, when Tom Brady was getting beat up and then his morale goes down and he starts finger pointing and then he goes and sit on the bench, on the end of the bench by himself, and nobody want to be around him, or he don't want people to be around him. Who's the other guy that can go in there and slap him on the back and says, listen, man, I know you this, that, and the third, but get your ass up over there, talk to these guys, and let's get it. Is there anybody there? I remember last year there was nobody, and the year before that, I don't know if they had anybody, but who's that guy that can, if he starts doing that, that can snap him out of it and say, get your ass up, let's get this football on?
I think it's going to be the Mike Evans on the offensive end, or it's going to be Levante David, a defensive guy, to go over there and tell him that and that's hard for him being on the field while that sulking is going on. But I think Mike Evans can be that guy to do that and help pull him out of that funk, because he's putting those years in now. He's getting those treads on his tire, and he's showing that he's one of those guys and he's got to be the one that can say to him and say, snap out of it. We got to get this together. We got to go.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what it is, man. That's what I thought about it. And I wonder if Mike Evans has that type of relationship with Tom Brady for him to, when he says it to him, to respect him and get it to going. I know that's his best receiver. Yeah. I mean, I guess he would have to get up off his ass and do something about it. So we shall see. So anyway, listen, man, I like to thank Brother Big James for chiming in on the show. Big Game Sports Buzz. Once again, Brother James, talk to the people. Tell them where your platform is going.
Yeah, man. Hey, Big Game James, Big Game Sports Buzz on Big Game Entertainment. That's on YouTube. You can catch a lot of stuff on Twitter. That's at BG Sports Buzz. And our Facebook page is Big Game Sports Buzz. Please check us out. A lot of different content. And Saints fans, I only root against y'all 2 times a year. And that's when y'all play against my Buccaneers. Other than that, I'm too busy cheering on my squad.
Yeah, Brother James, we appreciate that, man. Listen, man, and like I said, it's fun playing the Tampa Bay squad, man. It really is, especially after because we got the matchup against Atlanta. We run into this Tampa Bay, and then of course Carolina.
Man, 3 division games. That is crazy, Q.
I know that's what they did us, bro. That's what they did us. Is y'all scheduled the same way, bro? No, you got Dallas first, and then y'all had
Dallas, y'all. Then is it Green Bay after y'all? It's something crazy.
So y'all ain't get done what we got done.
It's like tough games, but we didn't get hit with the division games. No, it is. It's Carolina after y'all. So no, that's y'all schedule. Where's my schedule at? I believe it's Green Bay. Because I know I did a show about our first 4 games of the year, and the 3 of the top 4, 2, being on the road, and then the division games. It was a little crazy.
Yeah, here going. I got it on schedule here.
Yeah, it's Green Bay and then Kansas City.
Yeah, y'all ain't got done like we did. Then you get Atlanta in week 5. Then it's broken up with Pittsburgh. Then Carolina. I know y'all ain't got done like we did.
Yeah, no, we might have a few tougher opponents, but at the same time, they had the division games y'all got right out the gate and no room for error. The scheduled guys was mean to the NFC South, man.
Yeah, I know that especially to the Saints. We used to that. We used to that BS. So we just deal with it. If that's what you want to do, that's all right. We just have to handle the business. That's the bottom line.
Right.
All right, but shout out to the fam. Listen, I appreciate y'all for chilling up in this thing. Once again, please feel free to subscribe to Big Game Sports Buzz, my boy Big Game James up there. He not only talk about Tampa Bay sports, but he got a podcast to talk about everything. So you can go over there and check him out. And once again, please feel free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on the Sports Coma. Also, feel free to share the show on the social media feed, as this is the Friday show, and we getting ready to head into the I guess the game on Sunday, and of course I might be back. I'll come back on, maybe come back Saturday for a smaller show and talk about depth charts and all that kind of stuff. But brother James, once again, thank you, my brother, for chiming in this thing. Who that to you? We expect to see you, brother James. You got to make time to come back for the recap, whatever win, lose, or draw. We expect to see you in the building, brother.
I can take it. I'll face money and everybody. If y'all light us up, I have to come on here and just take it, dog. It's all good, man. Hey, I can't run from it, Q. Like we've been linking up doing stuff together, and hey, so I ain't gonna run from it. If it happens, I'm gonna sit up here and face it and take it like a man. So hey, much love to you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Great things always, what you putting out, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
That's right. Well, appreciate you, brother James. Great work you got going on with your platform as well. And we're gonna see brother James real soon. Just like I said, man, win, lose, or draw, be in the building. Once again, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like when you talk, you cover your team, brother James. It's sweet when they win, but boy, when they lose, and you got to go sit before them other people and put your head down like that and have to talk to them, man, that's a whole nother thing. It's like you went out there, brother James, and lost the game. You up there losing in the locker room without a paycheck. So, I mean, I'm like, man, if I'm going to do all this, boy, they better cut a check or something. They better send me a check, man. I'm up in here feeling like y'all in the locker room. But anyway, much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. We're going to holler at y'all later. Much love, peace, and who that? We out.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on Tampa, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy and you probably smell the crooked referees on Roger Goodell. Yeah, like this and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like this and I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and who that too.